We got some all-star voting returns. The final fan returns, guys, until we find out next week the starters. Here's a look at the West. Nothing really changing. Your front court is LeBron, Jokic, and Durant, 1, 2, 3. And then the guards right now are Luka and Steph is, doing a little stiff arm there on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's coming up in third with a lot of votes, 2+ million votes there. Biggest surprise from the West final fan returns. What do you got, TK?
I don't think there's any surprises.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say it, but De'Aaron Fox jumped Ja Morant. That's not a surprise.
Right.
Ja Morant is out for the season. Austin Reeves jumped Klay Thompson. I don't think that's a surprise. Those are the only changes in the Western Conference. So I think we're kind of set for at least our top 5 in fan voting, though we'll see if Shai can finally close the gap. We'll see.
Yeah, close the gap, and then let's not forget, 25% from the player vote, 25% from the media, and that's the question here is it going to be, alongside Luka as a starter in the West at the guard position, is it going to be Steph, or is it going to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, depending on how the rest of that vote goes? Assuming that Shai can't catch here, Steph, in the fan vote, what do you think? Who'd you be voting for?
I think Steph will get it. I do think he will. Just when it comes down to the votes.
When you get into the weighted
when you weigh
balancing of it all?
When you weigh it. But obviously Shai is deserving. There's no doubt he's deserving.
Yeah.
But I just don't know if... Maybe players will. Well,
our guy... Ghostface Ziller, he broke it all down. This idea of can Shai actually start alongside Luka again? Because Luka, most of us think is gonna, he'll probably get the player vote. He's gonna get a media vote. He's gonna have enough. He's starting because he's number 1 there in the fan vote as well. But this idea where we could have a tie when you look at the weighted versions of it all between Shai and Curry, and what happens in a tie? We go to the fan vote. So Curry, in theory, then would start. But, Shai getting number 1 in either the media or the player vote, which is possible, or someone else passing Steph for number 3 in either the player or the media vote, could obviously get SGA ahead of him, it's possible. And then Ziller points out, Anthony Edwards, where does he fit into this conversation with some of the players and media? And even Kyrie Irving, who players absolutely adore, could he sneak up even higher? So... we'll see here. I do think in the end, I actually think SGA is going to vote a little bit better and actually get the starting nod. I think the media might have him. They might have him 1 over Luka, which would help his case. Right?
They might.
Yeah.
They might.
Yeah.
There's no doubt that Shai deserves to start for the way he's played, but Steph Curry is a legend.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And that's what's happening with the forward spots in the West as well. LeBron is number 1. Fans get to see who they want. But that's obviously changed the last few years because they almost got Zaza Pachulia in the game, and everybody started in the NBA front office wondering, we got to change this. We got to change this. So they changed it to 50% only for the fans. Oh, your fans, you only get 50%. All right, you want them, but you only get 50%. And so that's why LeBron at first and AD at 4th, way over Kawhi. It's not right. It's not right. Kawhi should have more votes than the 5th spot behind those two. Mm-hmm. His record is way better than the Lakers' record. So, why are 2 guys going to potentially get more? Anyways, the coaches will get Kawhi in there, who's averaging 24 points, 52 from the field, 44 from 3. The guy's on fire, but I guess fans matter.
I think when we do weigh the player and media vote for the front court guys in the West, I think those will be ultimately the 3 guys, Jokic, LeBron, and Durant. Those will be our starters, I should say. We'll find out next week. To the East, the returns, the final fan returns. Throw it up there, JD. Front court, Giannis, Embiid, Tatum. A whole lot of votes for those 3, so they don't have to worry about Jimmy Butler catching them. And the guards is Tyrese Halliburton, as we talked about earlier, with a whole lot of votes. And then Trae Young holding on to second, just over Damian Lillard, and then Donovan Mitchell and Tyrese Maxey and Brunson, all over 1 million votes. Any surprises here from this list?
Paolo Banchero went over Julius Randle. That's the only change in the Eastern Conference, from what I could tell. They play similar. Bully ball.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I didn't really thought about
more
that.
aesthetically pleasing from Paolo, I would argue.
Yeah. What about you?
I don't think anything is surprising. Surprising that we don't get 4 iterations of these votes. I think we did last year, right?
Really?
Yeah, not that I want them.
Well,
I
they
think,
probably tell us the final voting total next week, right?
Yeah.
Do they?
So that would be the 4th.
I guess when they announce them.
Yeah. Yeah, because you get the whole thing where Ernie like shows us the entire breakdown of like the fans, the players, the media, and all the points that are, structured to each one of those columns. So,
I will say that when I looked at them, I said, voters, well done. This is pretty good. I do think
Trae Young's second is insane.
Trae should be holding off Damian. Damian Lillard has not had an incredible season.
No, I didn't say Damian Lillard. I think there's other guys that are probably more worthy of starting, be it Maxey or Brunson.
Maxey can be there.
Or Mitchell.
Oh, Donovan Mitchell's the guy.
Yeah. All three of those guys should be over the two guys ahead of them in Trae Young and Damian Lillard, in my opinion.
Trae's a damn good player.
Yeah, but he's got a shit record.
He does have the old shit record. Yes.
So you would pick Donovan Mitchell if I asked you Trae Young, Damian Lillard, or other to start alongside Tyrese Halliburton. You're picking Mitchell.
Yeah, he's been carrying the team with Garland and Mobley out. He scores more than Trae and Damian Lillard. Better rebounder. Trae's leading in assists. Better three-point shooter. Or Trae, I guess, is leading in three-point shooting right now. Mitchell's a better defender, and he leads in like every advanced category. I think he's really put on a starting push here, but I'd be curious to see how often like the votes actually change after the second returns. It doesn't feel like it. It feels like you're pretty much locked in. So I don't think Mitchell will probably get there, though. Maybe like the coach votes and stuff factors in, because I can't imagine Trae Young gets a lot of coach votes or really media votes. I think Lillard and Mitchell would probably take him in both of those categories. So we shall see. The weighting will be interesting for second guard in the Eastern Conference.
I think so. Yeah, the player vote, they don't usually vote for Trae Young from what I can remember as well. I think he was quite low on that last year.
Last year was bad.
Yeah.
And as far as the fans voting go, Trae did jump Damian from the first to second return.
Right.
So he's doing all right. If he had Jared Allen sitting beside him playing center, the team would be way better defensively because their offense is very, very good. But anyway, I'm just going to go to bat for Trae Young there for a sec. He's good. Guards are good. They're all going to get there.
A lot of good guards, no doubt.